Hey, what's up people? Michael here. If you want to partner your YouTube channel up, check out the link in the description.
The crowd are here and here in force for what is going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. Here's the track then, 16 corners, 6 to the left and 10 to the right. They make up the 3.3 miles around Albert Park Lake, with turn 1 and 3 providing the best opportunities to pass. A tough race in store then for our drivers today, so tell me, Anthony Davidson, what will you be looking out for as the cars make their way down into turn 1?
Well, first of all, let's hope that everyone's well behaved and we can have a nice incident-free start. That initial release is going to be the most interesting thing, and the clean side of the grid will be better rubbered in, so keep an eye out for cars over there potentially making their way through.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Bottas, Lewis Hamilton and Vettel, Magnussen, Alonso, Ocon and Roman Grosjean, Perez, Hülkenberg, Stoffel van Dorn and Sainz, Sirotkin, Hartley, Marcus Ericsson and Lance Stroll. Leclerc and Pierre Gasly rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, let's... but only a few laps left. If you can live with it, stay out. lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Please. We don't want to lose places because of a penalty. Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, so the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
So here come our winning drivers today, and what a race it was. There's been a big push at the factory lately to get these cars ready, and we can see the fruits of that labour today as Red Bull lift the winner's trophy. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Difficult call, but I'd say Lance Stroll. He was committed the entire race, and it's paid off with the result.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time. Welcome to SAKHIR in the Bahrain International Circuit, where the grid is forming up and is ready for today's Grand Prix.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care. for 5th.
Here come our winning drivers then, out onto the podium at the end of a thrilling Grand Prix. The drama and excitement are over, and it's time to let it all sink in. Congratulations to our top three today. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye and see you again next time. We've been welcomed with open arms once again to this, the most famous event of them all. The anticipation is rising as we get ready for racing here at the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1 mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. As the drivers complete their preparations down below us on the grid, one man who's no stranger to the pre-race pressure is Anthony Davidson, who joins me in the commentary box today. Great to have you with us, Ant. I'm sure you can tell us all about what goes through a driver's head before lights out.
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn one. It's all a bit like going into battle. And the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Lewis Hamilton and Vettel, Grosjean, Magnussen, Perez and Nico Hülkenberg, Sainz, Ocon, Stoffel Van Dorn and Alonso, Gasly, Hartley, Sergei Sirotkin and Lance Stroll, Ericsson, and Charles Leclerc rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
No heroics into Saint-Devote, please. We're in amongst the pack and just need to stay in one piece. Too much. We've been given a 3-second penalty. Okay, you have some front wing damage, but not enough to justify a stop in the remaining laps. If you keep this up, we're going to get disqualified. Be more careful out there. We've been handed a 3-second penalty for obvious corner cutting. You need to slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty. Go now. ROLEX is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic Grand Prix. Here they come, your top three, out onto the podium. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Well, after a drive like that, it's got to be Charles Leclerc, hasn't it?
The Marina circuit will be starting shortly. With the fading lights, strong spotlights will take over, making the Abu Dhabi track a unique racing experience. The drivers will be racing here on Yas Island today through 21 corners and a lap distance of around 3.4 miles. There are plenty of opportunities to pass with long straights and DRS zones in two places, at turns 8 and at turn 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed and plenty of drama to be found in the laps to come. Joining me to talk you through the action today is Anthony Davidson. And give us an idea of what kind of thing you're going to be looking out for today.
Well, the big question for me is whether or not we're going to see the cars able to follow each other closely enough to overtake, especially through the fast sections here. Of course, we've got DRS and that will help on the straights, but it's still no good if you're coming off the previous corner too slowly or too far behind.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Bottas, Hülkenberg, Van Dorn, Alonso and Esteban Ocon, Magnussen, Sainz, Romain Grosjean and Perez, Sirotkin, Stroll, Marcus Ericsson and Brendan Hartley. Leclerc and Pierre Gasly rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Brilliant job, mate. That's a fantastic podium. Super driving, really strong pace. Very, very happy.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Oh, well, I'm a bit spoilt for choice, Crofty. My instinct says Valtteri Bottas, and looking down the field, no one really jumps out at me to make me change my mind.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time. Based in the magnificent Ardennes countryside, Spa hosted its first Grand Prix back in 1925. This historic track is loved by drivers and fans alike. So it's welcome to the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps then, a 4.35-mile tour of the Ardennes countryside with 9 right corners and 10 left corners, giving us a grand total of 19. Average lap speeds in the dry can reach about 145 miles per hour, but without a significant improvement in these conditions, we won't be seeing anything like that today.
Okay, remember to protect the inside on the run down to turn 1. Make yourself as wide as possible, robust but fair. stay alert for threats around you.
this is it. This is where they all want to be. Here come the top three then, out onto the podium after a fascinating Grand Prix. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
Thanks for coming by. I'm sure you're very anxious to get out on track. It's taken a lot of effort to get to F1. Congratulations. But the real work starts now. This is...
Claire, motorsports journalist. Nice to meet you. You'll be seeing quite a lot of me throughout the season. So, you had a pretty impressive junior career. How are you feeling about your move into F1? Do you think you have what it takes?
Let's save the questions for a proper interview, shall we? I'm sure you'll have a lot more to talk about once there's been some action on track. I think we could fit you in after FP1 if you're free.
That works for me. I'll grab you the second you finish on the track.
Remember, the relationship you have with the team can be affected by what you say to the media. So be careful. Anyway, it's time to catch up with Carl. He's waiting for you in the data center. Good luck out there today.
Welcome to the data center. Here, we've got access to all kinds of information, including car telemetry, weather, lap times, tire wear, the list goes on. Plus, we've got a direct link back to the factory, so we're in constant communication with the team there. We need you to regularly feedback about areas of the car that are lacking and help us direct our resources in the most productive way. More effort here equals a quicker car, so it's well worth the effort. Good luck this season. Oh, and make us all look good, okay?
Welcome to your new team. As you're well aware, Mercedes have been mighty over the past few years, so there's going to be a lot expected of you right from the start.
Welcome to our viewers from around the globe. You join us just as today's practice session for the Australian Grand Prix is about to start. Anthony Davidson is here as usual to help take us through the action. And Ants, I've seen some questions on social media and other places about this current crop of F1 cars and why they're so much faster now, despite being significantly heavier than the previous generations of machines. Take us through that one.
I'd be happy to, Crofty. And simply put, it's a matter of grip. Now, that comes from two sources. You have what we call mechanical grip, which comes from the surface of the tyres sticking to the road. And these tyres are significantly wider now when compared to previous years, so they have the potential for more mechanical grip. Then you have the downforce, of course, which pushes the car into the road as the air moves over it, thus generating grip. And these cars have about 20% more downforce, which is more than enough to overcome the added weight. In the unforgiving world of Formula One, free practice sessions are a vital part of any Grand Prix weekend. During your F1 career, you'll be able to utilise these sessions to complete practice programs which will help you learn the track and earn you points that can be invested in developing your car. You'll also be able to adjust your car setup over the course of these sessions to try and find those extra fractions of a second.
Morning, Jeff here. I'm looking forward to working with you as your race engineer. Hope you've had a good night's sleep, because we've got a lot of work to do today to prep for the season ahead. We're ready to fire up the car, so why not head out and get a few laps under your belt? Okay. Okay, the track is green right now, so take a few laps to get the tyres up to temperature. Try and feel your way around. Careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. damage.